Hello, ladies and germs. Today is October 18th, 2017. I'm going to make a very short video about what is a beautiful trend channel on the Bitcoin US dollar trading pair. Now, last time I made a video, which was quite a while ago, maybe a week and a half ago, I think we were in this region and I was recommending to buy because Bitcoin was inside of a very well-defined trend channel heading upwards, and I thought that Bitcoin would get around 6,000 or 7,000. Now, Bitcoin didn't quite hit 6,000, and that's because the price rose so quickly that it hit the trend channel much faster than even I expected. I expected Bitcoin to hit 6,000 or 7,000, but I was expecting it to happen later on this year, maybe next month or even in December. So what does this mean? Right now what we're seeing is there's a lot of people that have sell orders in this region right here. Now, all these, if you look, you can see these tails, these shadows of these candles. That means every time Bitcoin tries to push and break to the upside, an upside breakout of this trend channel, a lot of people go and sell Bitcoin right back down and create what's called a very strong resistance level. Now, this doesn't mean that Bitcoin is going to head back down and retest this support line right here. That isn't it. Most likely what's going to happen is Bitcoin is going to pull one of these where it's going to dip down a little bit and head back up and go even higher. As you can see, this has happened several times where it goes dips down, touches again, dips down, touches again. Right here, you know. Look at how many times Bitcoin has hit the upper resistance of this trend channel compared to the lower resistance of this trend channel. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times versus 1, 2, 3 times. So it's very possible that Bitcoin will actually go and test higher. Now, from a trader's perspective, what should be done? That's a little bit of a trickier question. Now, I would say if Bitcoin breaks higher, around 6,100, 6,200 or so, it may be a good idea to take some profits and sell, and price will most likely head back down and hit this trend channel again, and you could make some profit. Now, if you want to hold your Bitcoin, that's fine. There could be something that comes out that has Bitcoin actually break out this trend channel to the upside. That's entirely possible too. So, generally speaking, since we're in such a bull market, I recommend that. I don't often recommend that people would actually sell their Bitcoin. Now, I did the last downturn. I did say, I think the very first video I made, I said you should sell your Bitcoin to try to buy it lower. And that turned out to be a really good prediction. But it's always a tough call when you sell your Bitcoin. But if you're going to do it, I would look to do it when it retests this upper trend channel, probably around 6,100, 6,200 or so, depending on when it happens. So if you look at the RSI, you can see that we are a little bit overbought, but that doesn't mean that we're going to be overbought. How to pause the video really quick, kids crying. But that doesn't mean that we're going to be overbought, and doesn't mean that Bitcoin's actually going to be heading lower right away just because we crossed the 70 line. If you see, the RSI's hit the 70 several times in the past. And I really think that a good sell indicator for Bitcoin is actually when it goes way past the 70, which is a typical place where you'd want to sell and consider things overbought. Probably closer to 80 or 90 range. And as you can see, Bitcoin's hit the 80 or 90 range a few times, and when it does, it usually does pull back a little ways. So not all the time, but usually it does. So I'm not calling for you to sell your Bitcoin right now. And I would want Bitcoin to go up higher in order for that to happen. So let's go ahead and check out our good old friend Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is in a very interesting trend channel or triangle pattern. As you can see, there's been lower highs and higher lows. So what's really what's going to happen is Ethereum is going to be channeled inside of here until some major news happens, either to the downside or the upside, to cause a breakout. Until then, Ethereum's most likely going to be bouncing around in between these two red lines. If you're looking to buy or sell it, right now is, from a technical standpoint, is kind of neutral. It's not a great time to buy or sell. It's in no man's land. I would recommend buying if Ethereum gets down to, well, depending on when, but let's say it gets down to around 250 or so. That would be a great place to pick up some more Ethereum. If Ethereum goes up to around 360, 370-ish, might be a good time to take some profits. I personally think Ethereum will break out, and I think it's going to break out to the upside. No idea when that's going to happen, but there's a lot of hard forking going on in various things. So it's very possible that Ethereum could break out to the upside before the end of this year. So now Dash is also in a triangle, and it's in a almost perfectly formed. Actually, this is what's called, I believe, a pennant, not a triangle, because triangles, pennants have more of this shape, where it's kind of comes up and then forms this more of a, almost like a diamond shape. And Dash is going to have to make a decision here because it's getting squeezed. As you notice, every time it hits this red line, creates a nice long shadow, and it just can't break up to the upside. So look for Dash to break out. And when Dash does break out of this, it could be a great time to short it or a great time to buy it. So I would assume if, let's say there's an announcement about Evolution and Evolution's released and it's working great, I can easily see Dash breaking out and reaching new, or at least touching the old all-time high, which is around 411. I can see it easily hitting 411 and even breaking up higher. I think that if Evolution comes out and everything's working as people expect, I expect Dash to definitely head up to the $400 to $500 range without too much trouble. Anyhow, that I think it concludes my assessment. Now, I do apologize for taking so long to make a new video. I've been traveling, and I just kind of figured that I'd make a new video once Bitcoin did hit this upper trend channel. It's been here for a while. It's been here for 4 or 5 days. And so, it has, in my opinion, demonstrated very clearly that there is resistance there. If I would have made a video, like, let's say the very first day it touched it, I would have just said, oh, it looks like this might be a good place to sell, but we need to wait a few days to see if the resistance holds and this and that. So now I can say with more clarity that the resistance is holding, and you can make your trading decisions. So anyhow, I hope everyone's having a great October, and I'll try to make another video soon.